Imagine waking up every day surrounded by people who drain your energy, who bring only drama and negativity. How do you feel? Frustrated? Exhausted? Now, imagine having the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus at your fingertips. Stoicism teaches us that what truly matters is not the actions of others, but how we respond to them. These philosophers remind us that, amidst the chaos of toxic relationships, we have the power to choose our response. Have you ever stopped to think about how much they can change your life? When we encounter people who drag us down, it's easy to fall into a cycle of pain and resentment. But what if I told you that true freedom lies in emotional detachment? What goes through your mind when you consider this idea? It may be challenging, but it is also liberating. Let's explore together the timeless lessons of Seneca and how they can help us build healthy boundaries. Get ready to change your perspective and maybe even your life. The power to transform your relationships is in your hands. But how? Stoicism might just be the key you've been looking for. Diving deep into oneself can feel daunting, but it's a journey worth taking. I often find myself pondering my emotions and reactions, trying to unravel the threads of my inner world. Marcus Aurelius said that understanding oneself is crucial to navigating external influences. When I reflect on my feelings, I begin to see patterns that explain why I react the way I do in certain situations. It's like putting on a pair of glasses that sharpen my view of my own psyche. Engaging in self-reflection allows me to recognize the triggers that set off my emotional responses. For instance, when someone criticizes my work, I might feel a wave of defensiveness. But by understanding this reaction, I can choose to process it differently. Instead of lashing out, I can pause and consider the constructive aspects of the feedback. This self-awareness helps me cultivate a more measured approach to interpersonal interactions. Moreover, the practice of self-knowledge fuels my growth. When I understand my strengths and weaknesses, I can make informed decisions that align with my true self. It's not just about knowing what makes me tick, but also about recognizing areas where I can improve. This ongoing dialogue with myself is a testament to my commitment to personal development. Additionally, self-reflection can be a powerful tool for fostering resilience. Life is unpredictable, and knowing who I am helps me navigate challenges with grace. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by external pressures, I can ground myself in my values and beliefs. This inner stability is invaluable when facing the storms of life. Finally, by embracing self-knowledge, I build a solid foundation for my relationships. When I understand my emotions, I can communicate more effectively with others. This clarity reduces misunderstandings and fosters deeper connections, enriching my interactions with those around me. Epictetus' teachings resonate deeply with me, especially when it comes to the concept of control. Life throws countless challenges my way, and the key is distinguishing what I can change from what I cannot. Focusing on my responses rather than the actions of others has been liberating. It's a subtle shift in perspective that has transformed how I approach conflicts. When someone behaves negatively toward me, my instinct might be to retaliate. However, by recognizing that their actions are beyond my control, I can redirect my energy toward my own responses. This realization allows me to maintain my peace of mind. Instead of getting caught up in their drama, I remind myself that I have the power to choose how I react. Moreover, this separation empowers me in my daily life. I've learned to let go of the need to fix every situation or person. Instead, I can focus on cultivating a proactive mindset. I ask myself daily, what can I do to improve my situation? This question shifts my focus from external chaos to internal clarity. Practicing this principle also helps me cultivate patience. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, waiting for things to unfold naturally can be challenging. Yet, I find that by accepting what I cannot control, I become more resilient in the face of uncertainty. The journey becomes less about rushing to solutions and more about growing through the process. Lastly, this understanding fosters a sense of inner peace. I no longer feel the weight of the world on my shoulders, striving to manage every aspect of my life. Instead, I find solace in knowing that I can control my thoughts, actions, and reactions, while letting go of the rest. It's a freeing experience that allows me to live more authentically. Cultivating emotional detachment has been one of the most liberating lessons I've learned. Seneca's wisdom reminds me that true happiness comes from within, not from the validation of others. This realization has shifted my perspective on relationships and emotional investments. I no longer tie my self-worth to external approval. Emotional detachment doesn't mean I become cold or indifferent. On the contrary, it allows me to engage more fully with others without losing myself in their emotions. When I find myself in a toxic relationship, I can step back and assess the situation without being swept away by the emotional tide. This clarity helps me make decisions that align with my well-being. Moreover, practicing detachment has improved my resilience. Life is filled with ups and downs, and when I depend on others for my happiness, I am vulnerable to their fluctuations. By internalizing my happiness, I create a stable emotional foundation that is less susceptible to external chaos. This stability empowers me to face challenges with grace and composure. Additionally, this practice has deepened my understanding of love and connection. I can appreciate relationships for what they are, rather than what I need them to be. When I stop seeking validation, I find that I can love others more freely. My connections become richer and more meaningful, free from the weight of expectation. In essence, emotional detachment has transformed my approach to happiness. I've learned to find joy within myself, allowing me to navigate relationships with a healthier mindset. This inner peace is a gift that I cherish, enabling me to build connections grounded in authenticity rather than dependency. Empathy is a powerful tool, and I strive to practice it daily. Understanding the motivations behind toxic behavior is essential for maintaining my own emotional balance. Marcus Aurelius often reminds me that everyone is guided by their perceptions and limitations. This perspective encourages me to dig deeper rather than react impulsively. When someone lashes out, my first instinct might be to take offense. However, by stepping into their shoes, I can see their actions in a different light. Perhaps they're struggling with personal issues that I am unaware of. This realization fosters compassion instead of hostility, allowing me to respond with kindness rather than anger. Practicing empathy also enriches my relationships. When I take the time to understand others, I create a safe space for open dialogue. This openness encourages vulnerability, which strengthens the bonds I share with those around me. It's amazing how a little empathy can transform a potentially volatile interaction into a constructive conversation. Furthermore, empathy has taught me the value of patience. In moments of conflict, I remind myself that everyone is fighting their own battles. Instead of reacting defensively, I can pause, breathe, and approach the situation with an open heart. This shift in mindset not only alleviates tension, but also fosters understanding. Ultimately, practicing empathy helps me cultivate a sense of community. By recognizing the shared struggles we all face, I feel more connected to others. This connection enriches my life and enhances my capacity to love and support those around me. Empathy is a gift that keeps on giving, shaping my interactions in profound ways. Establishing healthy boundaries is crucial for maintaining my emotional well-being. I've learned that it's okay to say no, even to people I care about. It doesn't make me selfish. Rather, it helps me protect my space. Epictetus emphasizes this, reminding us that we can't control how others react to our boundaries, but we can control the boundaries themselves. When I set clear limits, it not only safeguards my emotional health, but also communicates to others what I find acceptable. Sometimes, I find it challenging to enforce these boundaries, especially with those who have become accustomed to crossing them. It's a process that requires practice and consistency. I try to remember that people may initially resist my boundaries, but if I stand firm, they will eventually respect them. It's about creating a safe space for myself, where I can thrive without the weight of other people's expectations or demands. The beauty of establishing boundaries is that it allows me to engage more fully with people who add value to my life. When I protect my emotional space, I find that I have more energy for those relationships that truly matter. It's a win-win situation. My interactions become more meaningful, and I feel more balanced. Additionally, boundaries aren't just about saying no, they're also about knowing when to step back. If a situation feels overwhelming or toxic, I remind myself that it's perfectly okay to take a step back. This doesn't mean I'm giving up on people. It means I'm prioritizing my mental health. Ultimately, practicing healthy boundaries leads to deeper, more authentic relationships. I find that the more I respect my own limits, the more others begin to respect them as well. It's a liberating experience that fosters mutual respect and understanding. I've come to realize that the way I react to situations can significantly impact my emotional state. Instead of jumping into a reaction, I've started practicing the pause. This simple act of taking a moment to breathe and reflect allows me to respond more thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Marcus Aurelius taught that our emotions can lead us astray if we let them dictate our actions. When I encounter a challenging situation, I try to take a step back and assess what's really going on. What's the root cause of my feelings? By reflecting, I can choose a response that aligns with my values rather than one driven by immediate emotion. This shift has made a noticeable difference in how I handle conflict and stress. I've noticed that when I pause before reacting, I often find a more rational path forward. Instead of escalating a situation, I can approach it calmly and constructively. This not only helps me maintain my composure, but also encourages others to do the same. The result is more productive conversations and less drama in my life. Of course, it's not always easy to remember to pause. Sometimes my instincts kick in and I want to react immediately. However, I remind myself of the benefits of this practice. Each time I choose to respond instead of react, I reinforce a healthier habit. In the long run, this practice of thoughtful response fosters resilience. It's empowering to know that I have control over how I respond to life's challenges. This newfound awareness has transformed my interactions and has made me a more grounded person overall. True friendship has become a cornerstone of my emotional well-being. Seneca emphasizes the importance of surrounding ourselves with those who lift us up and promote mutual growth. I've learned that not all friendships are created equal, and it's essential to invest my time and energy into relationships that nourish my spirit. In my experience, genuine friends are those who support me in my endeavors and encourage me to be my best self. I cherish those connections where there's a mutual exchange of love, trust, and respect. These friendships provide me with a sense of belonging and help me navigate life's ups and downs. I've also come to understand that it's okay to drift away from friendships that no longer serve me. Sometimes, relationships can become toxic or one-sided, and recognizing this is a critical step. It's not about abandoning people. It's about prioritizing my emotional health and surrounding myself with positivity. Investing time in true friendships takes effort, but it's worth it. I make a conscious effort to reach out, check in, and create shared experiences. These moments reinforce our bond and remind me of the beauty of genuine connection. Ultimately, valuing true friendship enriches my life. It reminds me that I'm not alone in my journey. With supportive friends by my side, I feel equipped to face challenges and celebrate victories, knowing that we lift each other up in every season of life. I've come to realize that everything in life is temporary, including toxic relationships. When I grasped this idea, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I used to dwell on conflicts, feeling trapped as if they would last forever. But understanding that situations, good or bad, are transient helped me let go. I learned to appreciate moments without clinging to them. This perspective has made me more resilient, helping me navigate the emotional storms with a clearer mind. Life is a series of chapters, and not all of them are meant to last. By accepting the impermanence of relationships, I freed myself from the fear of loss. Instead of panicking when things got tough, I learned to embrace change. I understood that every relationship has its life cycle, and it's okay to move on when something no longer serves me. This acceptance has empowered me to detach from unhealthy dynamics, knowing that better days are ahead. The notion of impermanence also extends to my own emotions. I've noticed that feelings like clouds in the sky drift in and out. When I'm feeling down about a toxic situation, I remind myself that this feeling won't be permanent. This awareness allows me to experience emotions without being overwhelmed by them. I can acknowledge my feelings, but I don't have to let them dictate my actions or my self-worth. Moreover, accepting impermanence has deepened my appreciation for the positive aspects of my life. By recognizing that nothing lasts forever, I've become more grateful for the moments that bring joy. It's a reminder to savor the good times and learn from the bad ones. This balance has been instrumental in fostering a more optimistic outlook, even amidst challenges. Lastly, understanding that relationships can ebb and flow has encouraged me to focus on the present. I strive to be fully engaged in my interactions, knowing they may not always be there. This mindfulness enhances my connections, allowing me to invest in them without the fear of future disappointments. It's liberating to live in the moment, embracing both joy and sorrow as natural parts of life. In the midst of challenging relationships, I found solace in practicing gratitude. It's easy to get bogged down by negativity, but when I consciously shift my focus to the positive aspects of my life, everything changes. I began to write down things I'm thankful for, and this simple act transformed my mindset. It's remarkable how a few moments spent acknowledging the good can counteract the heaviness of toxic interactions. Gratitude isn't just about appreciating the big things. It's also about recognizing the small joys. A warm cup of coffee in the morning, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. These moments can uplift my spirit. By honing in on these experiences, I've created a mental buffer against the toxicity surrounding me. It's as if I'm building an emotional shield that allows me to engage with the world from a place of positivity rather than resentment. Moreover, gratitude has taught me to reframe my thoughts about difficult relationships. Instead of seeing them solely as burdens, I've learned to view them as opportunities for growth. Each challenge presents a lesson, and by practicing gratitude, I can identify what I've learned. For instance, a conflict with someone might highlight my own boundaries or reveal areas where I need to improve. This shift in perspective fosters resilience and helps me navigate complexities with more grace. By focusing on gratitude, I've also cultivated a greater sense of empathy. I find myself appreciating the struggles of others, understanding that everyone is facing their own battles. This recognition has deepened my connections and allowed me to respond to negativity with compassion rather than anger. It's a powerful reminder that we're all in this together, navigating the ups and downs of life. Finally, I've discovered that gratitude enhances my overall well-being. The more I practice it, the more I train my mind to look for the silver lining in every situation. This optimistic lens not only improves my mood, but also influences how I interact with others. I approach relationships with an open heart, ready to offer support and kindness, even in the face of adversity. It's a beautiful cycle. Gratitude begets positivity, which in turn fosters healthier relationships. Embracing the idea that every interaction has something to teach me has been transformative. Even negative experiences can offer profound insights. At first, I would feel frustrated or hurt by toxic encounters, but gradually, I started to seek the lessons hidden within them. This shift in perspective turned my struggles into valuable learning opportunities, guiding me toward personal growth. For instance, when faced with conflict, I now take a step back and ask myself what the situation is revealing about me. Is there a pattern in my responses? Am I projecting my fears or insecurities onto others? By reflecting on these questions, I gain clarity that helps me evolve. It's as if each challenging interaction becomes a mirror, reflecting my strengths and areas for improvement. Additionally, I've learned to appreciate the wisdom of others. Conversations with friends and mentors often reveal new perspectives that challenge my thinking. I actively seek feedback, understanding that constructive criticism is a gift. Embracing this mindset fosters an environment where I can grow, learn, and adapt, even from those I may initially find difficult to engage with. Moreover, I've recognized that wisdom often comes from discomfort. The lessons I find in difficult relationships tend to stick with me longer than those from pleasant ones. It's a reminder that growth rarely occurs in our comfort zones. Each uncomfortable encounter pushes me to confront my beliefs, biases, and emotional responses, ultimately leading to deeper self-awareness. Finally, seeking wisdom in every experience has cultivated a sense of resilience. I no longer fear failure or conflict. Instead, I see them as integral parts of my journey. This resilience empowers me to face challenges head-on, equipped with the understanding that I will emerge stronger and wiser. Embracing the lessons life offers, especially from the tough times, has become a cornerstone of my personal philosophy. As we wrap up this journey through the wisdom of Stoicism, let's take a moment to reflect. Think about the relationships in your life. Are there toxic influences draining your energy? Remember, as Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So, what if you shifted your perspective? Instead of feeling trapped, view these interactions as opportunities for growth. Picture this. Every challenge is a chance to practice resilience. Just like Marcus Aurelius advised, focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. How would your life change if you embrace this mindset? Imagine waking up each day, ready to confront negativity with a calm and steady heart. Now I challenge you. Identify one toxic relationship today. What can you do to set healthy boundaries? Will you communicate your needs or simply distance yourself? Remember, the Stoics taught us that our peace of mind is paramount. So, as you step into your day, carry this wisdom with you. Reflect on these questions and let them guide your actions. Stay tuned for more insights on how Stoicism can empower you to lead a fulfilling life. Until next time, keep seeking clarity and strength.